Greetings, St. Barnabas members and friends. We continue our daily meditations with the Lord's Prayer as our guide, reflecting on this prayer. And we're now at the part where we come to the first three petitions. Hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done. And this is one of those times where a more literal translation can be really helpful. If we were to be more literal, we would say something like this: let your name be hallowed, let your kingdom come, let your will be done. And the reason that's helpful is not only is it continuing the theme of it's all about God, not about me, it takes that theme to the next level when it acknowledges we need God to do this. Oh God, you let your name be hallowed. You let your kingdom come. You let your will be done. And if we have learned or understood or experienced ourselves in the opening of the prayer, recognizing who this God is and losing ourselves in this God. And that's what I really want to say. If we've learned to let ourselves go into God, who is the God of infinite loving concern, and who is our God, our Abba, and who is in the heavens, and we've entered into relationship with this God, and with this God entered into eternity. Then as we come to the petitions, let your name be hallowed, we realize the great extent we need for God to do this. How can I hallow the name of God? It's too big for me. It's too much for me. I realize this is what I need God to do. Then, very wonderfully, it's likely we'll begin to realize, and God needs me. God needs us. The sacredness of God, the holiness of God, simply is. It is God. It's not diminishable. It is who God is, sacred and holy. And so God exists in God's self and needs no help. On the other hand, in the earth, for that to be known, the holiness of God to be known, is the work of God's partners, humanity. Not for God's sake, but for our sake. If we pause for a moment, if the sacredness of God were everywhere known, all my needs would be met. If the sacredness of God were everywhere known, all my desires would be fulfilled. And so what happens is, as we enter this prayer, it's just to pray it becomes transformative. There's this chance of a wonderful interplay between what only God can do and then what God needs God's partners to do. Perhaps another way of saying it is God working in me and through me, God in me doing God's work, hallowing the name of God. Thomas Keating has a wonderful way of saying this. I just love this. He says, only God matters. Only God matters. And because God matters, everything matters. Don't you love that? Because God matters, everything matters. And so, as I lose myself in let your name be hallowed, let your name be known as sacred, I begin to realize all the ways in my life I can participate in that. And then quickly, I again realize, oh God, I need your help. How can I do this? How can I make your name holy and sacred? And I can't. I need your help. And then again, I realize you need my partnership. So I don't want this to be muddy for you or ambiguous. I hope it's not. I hope you find yourself inspired to live in this paradox, so to speak, and experience how transformative it can be. And again, I just want to emphasize, we get lost in, it's not about me, it's about God. It's not my concerns. It's not all wrapped up in my ego and my baloney. It's all about God. It's all about God. And that is my greatest freedom. And that is my greatest peace. Losing myself in my God. Let your name be hallowed. Let your name be known as sacred. And quickly I find myself inspired and looking for every way I can live such that that gets fulfilled. Amen.